So with this, what we're able to capture is not only the person's overarching like tendencies of their personality, the way that they think, but also what's happening with response to balance. So, for example, if somebody is trying really hard to communicate, maybe they're a salesperson. This is something you do see often in a salesperson, and they're really kind of pitching to you hard, and they're really trying to persuade you. You will see orange flash through, because that's your communication problem, color. But then maybe they're having money worries, and suddenly their targets are like really feeling close, and they're saying all the right things, but you just haven't got the tone. You're not going to have that bright orange anymore. It's going to become like an orange, a muddy orange, like they're trying really too hard to communicate. But what will also happen is, because they're pushing, you'll get the movement of the actual etheric body will come out of place too, and you've no longer got these spirals going up. The colours going, I'm trying to sell, but you can kind of pick up that actually he's spiraling down, right? And so long term, what you'll see is these are the problems that are leading towards a heart attack, high blood pressure, or he's not had the eczema flare up yet, but it's going to get pushed down through the physical bodies. So that's what you're looking for. So it's useful to know what their job is, obviously, because that'll help. If you see somebody who's getting flashes of red, that could say, right, well, they're thinking, but they're not really thinking very clearly, and there's probably anger involved, and those people are possibly going to find their way into some kind of accident, for example. And the other thing, of course, is you'll also see green, jealousy, envy, paranoia about the partner. All of those things are likely to flash up, but we'll look at those as we go. What you'll also be able to see, what you want to be able to see, is somebody who knows how to ground themselves, especially if they're doing spiritual work. And particularly when you start to do this work, you'll find that the people who are most likely to gravitate towards you to do that have got some kind of spiritual leaning, because they're tapped into this kind of work. And it's useful to look and be able to say, well, okay, is it pushed way too high? Are they reaching way too high into their spiritual bodies and there's nothing grounding them? So this can be really helpful, because these people tend to be quite yin. They don't really want to work for a living. Their money's slipping through their fingers. And so you can do quite profound things with essential oils, of just seeing straight away, okay, that's just way off. I can bring that down, I can ground that, use the essential oils to ground them, talk to them about grounding practices, and immediately see, like, you can find a difference in that person. So those can be really quite radical results, where like we can work with fixed thinking, we can work with things like jealousy, we can look at underlying things, and maybe the person doesn't even recognize that they're jealousy, but you can see it there. Because don't forget that people are brought up thinking in certain ways, that it's okay to always be judging other people, or always comparing yourself to other people. They might not see it as a fault because that's the way they've been brought up, but if you can kind of level that out with like tangerine essential oil, for example, it can be really helpful to help them to kind of just lose those attachments. So yeah, you would see that in the aura. So the mental body, should we have a go at dowsing it?